I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe...
You may not realize.
I wonder how everyone...
I told my mother in the hope that she would be... She likely told other prophets. Unfortunately, she might, in fact...
If she knew more about what you've done...
If she knew any more about what I've done...
I'm sorry. Has Officer...
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in my...
What exactly happened?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone...
Galloping. Your father was also...
He could become the most majestic giraffe. And we were on our way home. When we surprised it, one of them saw me, just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted, and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you...
Exactly. In an instant, as he fell, my father changed, and then he was gone.
Your fault?
He died protecting me. My mother and I tried to go on without. A few years later.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders...
No. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it.
What does your mother think?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She misses him, but that does not mean...
Do you think your father would have...
Oh my. But I think he, of all people, would understand. And I think he would have...
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't...
He was. We all have our burdens.
Yes, I remember.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention. We are making progress. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking...
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken...
They are. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black
Wait, is the next...
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself.
I understand.
Good. I shall meet you in...
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do. Revelio. What do we have here? A demiguise. Mine now, demiguise. I hope I look. Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblin... And I discovered that they're built... Professor Fitzgerald seemed very...
I see.
And, sir, there's...
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it.
I don't know what to say. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak...
Believe it or not,
Incredible. Very well. You'll need the pass.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into?
It does?
So how do you already have...
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to...
Thank you, Professor.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only... you'd asked me about a particular potion, and well,
I did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger.
A student.
I do. And thank you, Sharp.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along. Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
What could the headmaster want?
Gareth!
Oh, Professor! Yes, of course! All sorts.
I'm looking for my...
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Well, there's one for my diary.
Ah. Hoo. Yeah. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the Ministry.
Headmaster, here, what could he want?
Mr. Gaunt!
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm...
Taking the day off, eh?
I have to write 20 inches on...
Ah, yes! Mixed with, bubo tuber pus makes a fine, mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir?
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. Ah!
Something is very wrong with Professor Black. Dittany and Booba pus. Moustache paste.
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
Professor, a word? I should like to speak with you, Professor. Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite... I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
I should think you'd have better things to do with your time. Now, where's my elf?
Good day, Professor. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kogawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a headmaster?
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
I spent hours
I hope it's not about anything I've been doing.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
Well, they're as good as invisible to me, sir. Rotten little extortionist holding my diary hostage.
What was that, Broom?
Nothing, sir.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better!
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig? I shall never understand that man.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Scrope's as hard a worker as any house elf.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
But certainly I remember. It's still stronger together, no?
Master has made Scrope laugh.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
Ahem. The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle. Revelio.